right, good morning. It is Tuesday, June 7th, 8:25 in the morning. We're watching the S&P 500 futures. Ticker symbol is /MES. It's the micro futures that we're trading here and that we're watching. We've got the 15-minute chart on the left side and the 1-minute chart on the right. The dotted lines just denote the overnight high and low. And let me just adjust something real quick. Looks like the overnight low, since technically up until the open, that is the overnight price action, looks like we've gone just a little bit lower. 4075. Let me edit that real quick. Let's see if we can get it closer. There we go. All right. Looking better. So not much of a big difference. We're trading right down here at the lows. Let's take a look real quick at the daily chart. Here's the daily. We've come down quite a ways. Let's see. So I think we made it up to like 4,800 quite a while ago. We've meandered down, just coming down. Yesterday looks like it, trying to form a cup and handle, and so looked like it might have pushed up higher, but it didn't. It reversed yesterday, and we caught that short, which was nice. Now we're trading down in here, so we'll let the market set up, see what it wants to do, see how quickly it wants to move. We'll kind of monitor the tempo and make some trades based on what the market's showing us. We're going to have a winning performance. We can and will have a winning performance every day, because we define winning as just watching and observing without emotion, not fearing that you'll miss the move, and then lastly, executing with stops and targets in place. I personally need to get a little bit better. Well, I need to get better at allowing my targets to be hit. Trading is so dynamic, things can change rather quickly. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And so oftentimes when I have a good trade on, it's easy for me to prematurely want to lock in at least some profit. Now, maybe I'm not taking everything off the table, but there might be a point where I'm taking off 10%, and then I'm taking off another 20%, and then scaling out a third. And that's okay at times. Like, it's okay to pay yourself, and it's nice to book some profit as the trade is going in your favor, because anything can happen and something will happen. But it's good also to stick to your convictions and remind yourself, like, hey, if I've waited for the last hour for price to get to this level, I have an idea, I execute it. Let's let the trade work itself out a bit here. If you've got your stops in place. Now, there are times when you just get a gut feeling, or things aren't really sizing up, or there's a movement and there's a little bit of nuance to it where you just feel, you know what, I don't think I should be in this trade, or I want to lessen my involvement, so I'm going to get out of some of it and leave a smaller portion on. There's certainly a time to do that. So again, it just goes with the dynamic nature of trading. All right, we've got a minute before the open, so I watched the 15-minute, I watched the 5-minute, certainly watched the daily, and then I watched the 1-minute. The 1-minute, I just watched this chart more so for nuance. If we get to a level that I like for some reason, which I will mention, I'll watch and see how price moves, like what the action is at a certain level. And from there, I'll make a decision whether I want to buy or sell, or what I want to do, what my target may be. So I think it would be helpful, I know I've been working on this, to also not just say what my target is, but say what my time frame is. There's some trades we do that are very short. There's other trades that we do that are quite longer. Shouldn't be any news out this morning. Yep, looks like there was international trade in goods and services at 7:30 this morning. Excuse me, that came out an hour ago. So nothing really today that looks like it could move the market. There's consumer credit, which is at 2 p.m. Eastern. I won't be trading. I just watched the first 2 hours of the day. And so we're just going to denote the opening range. It's the first minute of trade. So that 40.50, that could be a first target down there. Let's drag the daily into the screen. So I don't know if we're going lower, I don't know if we're going higher, but if we do go lower, pardon me, if we do go lower, I would think that somewhere around this gray line, 40.50, would be a first target. Maybe somewhere in the 40.50s. And again, maybe we don't go that low. Maybe we go 100 points lower. Maybe we never touch it and we go 500 points higher. Right? Anything can happen, and something will happen. All right, good little move here. Now, this doesn't look like much, but again, I mean, this is a 12-point swing on the S&P in a minute. So that's a pretty big move. Let's see if we get some buyers to step in and push this thing higher. Gap lower. So I'm sure the bulls are trying to close the gap. Where's our gap at? Looks like it's up here. Sometimes I'll just put lines in to see like what makes sense. So my orange lines are opening range, but I'll go ahead and change that. Here's the 5-minute chart. Definitely have some resistance there. I'll probably just get rid of that one actually, but yeah, sometimes it helps to draw, annotate some areas. So yesterday our battle early on was between 41.65 and 41.60. Looking to see where there might be some battle zones today. All right, 9 minutes in. I'm gonna watch it down here. Might consider a long down in this area. All right, we're 10 minutes in. I haven't taken any trades yet, which is usually pretty typical. So yeah, as of this point, I don't really know what's going on regarding getting long versus short. I don't have a big conviction one way or the other. I don't have a thesis developed yet. So I'm just going to sit back and wait for the market to generate some more information so I can trade. I think it's easy to have the misconception that in order to be a successful trader, you need to just be in and out, making moves, getting in, seeing stuff before it happens. Really, more times than not, the market, it'll give you little clues and tips and hints as to what it wants to do. And if you miss a trade, I mean, that's going to happen. It's good to remember that there'll be another trade coming around the corner. Could be days from now, it could be minutes, it could be hours. You just don't know. So you got to be ready. Okay. So could this be resistance that we're hitting here? Could be. I'm going to sell some here. We'll watch it if it gets up into here. Alright, so this is definitely a battle area. This, call it 9-6. There's the pop. Now let's see how far this thing's going to run now. That's the question. So we'll want to see if it comes back and reverses and takes out this 92 area here. Which it just broke above that, so odds are not in our favor that it takes that out. What's that 92.5 level? I'm going to sell a little bit more right here. Alright, I'm in 45% of what I'll allow myself to get into, size-wise. If we come lower, I'd be looking for a retest of this area down here. So yeah, gonna look to scale out probably half of it down here, or maybe here, depending on the quickness of the move. Ooh, that could be a little tell right there. I'm gonna try to sell a little bit more. That little guy right there. So we'll watch this bar and see what happens. I'll probably give this thing up to about 405, or I'm sorry, 4105. So definitely in a bit of a channel here. All right, I'm not going to give this thing too much more There we go. Good with that. Okay. So stops just a little bit further above. Okay. All right, not looking great here. Not looking great. I'm still not stopped out, but I'm really close here. Pretty close indeed. Pretty close. All right, so there's our kind of our gap fill. So we got up to the lows from the other day. So we'll watch it here, see what it does, see if we get any clues, any hints. Five-minute looking strong. Minute obviously looking strong. We're kind of back up into where a good amount of business was done on the 15-minute chart. Let's watch, it's a decent little pullback here. Not too shabby. Let's watch it for nuance here. Okay, what do we got? 20 more seconds until we put in a new 5-minute bar. A little bit of a tail on this one. The gap was filled. Looks like. Yeah, we'll say it's filled. Okay, so that's all the guys getting along here. Filled that gap. They're taking profits there. Let's watch it and see what we do here. I'm still not stopped out of this one, but I'm close. Next little battle area is going to be, looks like 4102. Just grinding higher so far. I'm going to try selling just a little bit more right there. Okay, so currently I'm in 65% of what I will allow myself to get into size-wise. I mentioned initially I thought 4105 would be a spot that I'd have a stop, but I'm looking at this thing structurally and thinking, you know what, just a little bit above this high right here I think is a decent risk to reward, as this is the gap. I was looking for a gap fill and then trying to fade the move here, trying to see if we weaken up a bit. Want to watch and see where this 5-minute bar closes. That's a nice move right there. See if we get a little bit of a bounce, and I'll go ahead and look to enter some more shorts. Ooh, that's really nice. I like that. Might consider adding here, looking for a little bit of a pop to add some. I mentioned 4102 earlier being a little level, so if we get up closer to about 4100, I'll look to add some up there for a short. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit more right here, not much. As far as adding to my short position. So remember that 96, I added just a little bit more right there. So that 96, that's that battle zone. So stop now is going to be just above the high of the day. Yeah, it'll be important to see where this 5-minute bar closes here. Oops. So here's our 5-minute bar. Here's our 15-minute bar. Could be a good little wick on there. So we came up to here, had some, overnight resistance here. But again, I'm keeping in mind this could be just come up, pulling back. If we pull back, spend some time here, and then just go ahead and push higher, that would not be good for anyone like me who's short. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get some continuation. Want to see us break 96. And I might even take a little bit off the table here, as it would be prudent to do so, but I'm going to give it a minute. We'll let it try to work itself out. Another half minute till we get a new 5-minute bar. Let's see. So yeah, this 98 to 96, this is an important level. So first target's going to be down here. Next one will be somewhere in this area. Time frame, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I'm going to buy just a little bit right there, just to lighten up a little bit. Didn't buy back much. Okay, so I'm in, overall I'm in 70% of the allowable size that I'll let myself get into. right, so watch that 102, see what we do there. So it was a good scale out area, good area to lighten up there, but I didn't lighten up that much. Got my stop just above the high of the day. Let's see how hard they sell off that 102 and see if they can't get below 4096. So if you're bearish like me, you want to see it stay below 4102. We're going to ask ourselves too, like what's the market trying to do, and is it doing a good job? So it's currently looking pretty strong here. Got another 45 seconds until we get a new 5-minute bar. So here's our 5-minute. Came down to 96. Bulls bought it up. See if it takes out the high of the day or not. I've got my stop just above the high of the day. Okay, 5-minute looking pretty strong. So it seems that we will take out the high of the day. We'll watch 4102 to see if it gets back below it and stays below it for weakness. I do prefer outside in trades. That's just my style. That's just how I roll. I'm gonna look to sell a little bit more right here. So next battle zone, looking at the 5-minute, is going to be, let's see, it's going to be 98, really. Going to be this level right here. We'll watch 98, see what it does. And then certainly we'd want to see it get below 96. And again, I'm keeping in mind where we're at on the daily. On the daily chart. Here, let me get rid of this guy. This doesn't really mean anything right now. There we go. So again, looking at the daily, I'm mindful that, you know, this could be it as far as what the bears do. Like, we could come hang out down here, and it could be a pretty strong explosive move to the upside. And so that's why I've got my stop just above here. I like that. I like that little bit right there. All right, let's watch 98, 96. Let's see if we can get some follow through here. Got to get us below 96. All right, I'm taking a little bit more off the table right there at that level. Should see some follow through here now. So again, we're watching that 96. We're getting a pop off of it. Now in this instance, I believe I will. I'm going to move my stop even a little bit closer here. So I'll have it right up here. If it gets above that, if price gets above that, like, I don't want to participate. So I'd say the battle is certainly between 102 and 96. Got another just, I don't know, a few seconds until we get a new 5-minute bar. Trying to ask myself too, okay, so initially I think it was here, I said 10 or 15 minute time frame. Looks like we're getting closer to that. So I'm looking for a break below this level. I'm going to buy back a little bit more right there as well. There we go. So still watching this for a break. Watching this for a push lower. Can't do it just yet. There it is. There we go. All right, I'm buying some there. Buying a little bit more back right there. Good deal. I like that. We'll watch, see if we get lower into here. Gonna move my stop a bit down now. There we go. Looking for a little push lower. Yeah, I'm gonna buy some back here as well. I think it could kind of firm up. All right, so I'm in just over half of that initial trade. This one hasn't worked out great. I'm in a third of it, and I'm just gonna put, let's see, buy back some more right here. Okay. Yeah, so this one maybe poorly managed. I probably jumped the gun getting in on that, but was able to salvage it. This was a nice kind of like double top right here. Taking into context, though, I wouldn't be surprised if that was it and if maybe we try to push a little bit higher. So I'll hold some against this level right here. If we get above that, then I'll just be out of the position. So of my original trade size, I'm just in 1/6 of that position. My concern here, I'll hold it like I'm holding against this level. My concern is that we come down, hang out in here, and then maybe push a bit higher. Again, I mean, anything can happen. So we could come down to here, find no buyers, could come down to here, no buyers, and could just push on lower. So that certainly is a possibility. If we put in a new high right here. I think it was about the same level. Let's see, the high 4107 quarter, 4107 quarter. So didn't take out that level, came up to it, and then had a nice move lower. Stayed below 102. So that's where I've got the remainder of my, just the 6 of the size that I'm in. That remainder is just hanging out at 102. As far as a stop. So still on that one, don't know, just trying to analyze it a bit. I don't know if I jumped the gun. I mean, looking at it now, I certainly jumped the gun getting short here at 96. Had a good management of it because was recognizing that this was the gap fill up at this level. So you'd figure some of the guys who are long and excited about being long were taking some off the table here. But yeah, I think in a perfect world, I would have waited a little bit longer on that trade, given it just a little bit more time, another 10 minutes or so, another 15 minutes, would have had more clarity. Okay, so let's see. Looks like about 20 minutes so far that this one has been an active trade. Well, no, more than that. Looks more like about 30 minutes. So again, we'll watch 96 to 98. Here's our 5 minute and 15 overnight. So the concern I have here and why I didn't give this one a whole bunch of room. Now, granted, I still have a runner on, but why I didn't give it a bunch of room is because we've come up here, kind of pushed up into this congestion area, hanging out here, and the more time we spend above this, I feel like the more likely we are to just go ahead and push higher, maybe take out that high of the day. Now, of course, if we come down to here and take that out, well then all bets are off. I'd be looking for a retest of here and then maybe even 40-50 to the downside. But just being that we've gapped lower, we're kind of in this holding pattern, looking at the daily chart. Let's see here. Yeah, so again, here's our daily. Could be that price holds at this level, and then we get back up into trading in the 4120s, 4130, somewhere back up in here. Because we have spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days pretty much from 4100 to about 4160. So this has been its range. So it wouldn't surprise me if we push back a bit higher and get up to here. Although at this point, I gotta say nothing should surprise us. Okay, so 96, 98. I'm holding on a small enough size here against this level, but I'm half tempted to just get out of it. See what it does here. But I'm gonna tighten that stop up a little bit. If we can't break out a new low, I'll move my stop lower to this level. My profit target, that is. A little trailing stop. So some trades you just kill it on, other trades you lose on, other trades it's more of a scratch. Made a little bit on this one, but oh sorry, that's probably super loud. Made a little bit on this one, but nothing to get excited about. I'm just gonna flatten right here. All right, that's it. So again, made a little bit on that one, but wasn't like a great trade. The one we had the other day, getting short, that was a really nice trade with some great follow through. This one, not so much. So there's 4102. I'm just going to sit back and wait. I feel like you could get long here against maybe that recent low, this level here. So it'd be like a 10 point deal. Pretty good action on the 5-minute bar. Pretty strong move there. So you're going to spend a lot of time between 4100 and like 4060 to 4050. So here's our 15-minute, kind of bigger look at the 15-minute. See if we can't get up a little bit more. If you're long here, I'd be looking for a 10-point move. So if you're long at like 02, I'd be looking for 13, 14. Then you could leave a runner on, see if we get up to that level, up to the overnight low, like 4124. So right now I'm just flat. Don't have anything going. Just trying to read what the market's showing us. Not giving us a whole bunch just yet. Seems like this could be it here, right? Seems like it. I'll buy a little bit right here. I'm just in 10% of the normal size I'll let myself get into. See if we can't push higher. see if we can't push it up higher. I'm gonna keep a tight stop on this thing. This just isn't, it's really not a trade that I usually take. Alright, let's see if we push up here. There we go. Alright. This is a good call. Again, I'm in really small on this position. There we go. Good explosive move higher. Scaling out a half right here. And the other half I'll keep my target right here. So it's a good little move, good explosive pop. So there's that 10-point move. We talked about 02 to 12. Next target could be up here at overnight high. Alright, so we'll just let this guy run. I'm still in half of that little position. Again, it wasn't much. Kind of the telltale sign on this was coming up here and then forming a little bit of a, I don't know, a little cup, and then the penetration, the push higher. It's also watching the 15-minute, thinking like we came up and down, up, down. We were up again and thought, all right, could be likely that we go ahead and push higher this time. So that's that. Not a huge trade, but one that's worked out decent nonetheless. Still feel like today could be rotational as opposed to a trend day, just because of where we're at. Again, this is where we're at on the daily chart. Who knows? I mean, we could just be super strong and push way higher. Pretty good move, pretty good bar, like on the 5-minute. Here's the 15. So what I was thinking was correct there with my short. So it was getting short in here and then added some more up here, scaled out a little bit, and thought, you know, if this thing comes down and we hold here for a while, there's a good chance we could just pop up higher. So that's what we did, and then got long, just a small amount. Right around like 41.02, took half off the table here at 16, and now we're watching to see if we can push up higher. Here's our 15-minute. Now the gray shaded area, that's the overnight session. So we'll watch and see what it does here. Again, that overnight, that could be the next target. Who knows, next target could be like 41.40, so could push quite a bit higher. anyone's guess, really. Alright, so got real close there. Let's see if we just continue through or if they hold tight here. I'm going to move my trailing stop up to this level right here. Figure if it's strong, we hang out and just keep going. If it's weak, we'll come back in, take that out. So might be a bad spot to have my trailing stop. And initially this was my target. I said you could get long around 4102, take some off at 12, and then take off the other little bit here. So maybe I should go ahead and practice what I preach, huh? I'll flatten right here. To me, the market feels strong. I wouldn't look to short it. I'm not looking to short it just yet. Yeah, I wouldn't think until maybe 41.40 about entering a short. So pretty strong there. All right, so far the bull is really not letting off the gas here. A little bit of a pause at 41.24, but that's about it. I'm not looking to get short here at all. I scaled out of my last half of that position right around 22, 41.22. All right, so the bulls filled the gap and then some. Yeah. Okay, so looking at the 5 minute here, no reason for me to get short. Looking at, here's the 5 minute chart, and spent a lot of time with that, and now we're holding, for the moment, we're holding above this level, which this was the overnight high, this 41.24, and so I'm not looking to get short here. May hit 41.40. I think that's quite likely. I mentioned that when we were a bit lower, about 10 points lower. Might even see 41.50. So could get some good market movement today. All right, just hanging tight here. Pretty strong bull move. bull day. Let's look at the daily. I'm not involved right now. I was short earlier, had a little bit of a profit, then I switched and got long. Right about here, it was in real small size here. It's just not a trade that I take too often, but it worked out well. Scaled out some here at 16 and then some more at 22. So I'm flat on that position. And yeah, next target we got, we're looking for like 41.40. This isn't a train I'm looking to step in front of. That might be it for me as far as the rest of today. So you can see the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost the last half hour, we've just been up, up, up. So pretty big and strong move to the upside. Let's see what halfback would be here today. What was 7? Well, not much for me to do right here. Just hanging out. Not much. In fact, that might be it for me for the rest of today. Yeah, maybe it makes it to 41.40 and then we pull in a little bit. Maybe this is all it gets. But I'm not looking to get short on this market. Now again, it might be that there's some big move in a certain direction and I look to get involved there. But right now, I don't see anything that gets me too excited to want to trade at this level. Pardon me. let's see if we tag 40 here. 41.40. That 42.5, that's an important number. We were talking about that one yesterday. And yesterday too, 40.30, that was an important area. All right, 3 minutes before the top of the hour, or 3 minutes until. Not doing much right here. I don't think I probably won't the rest of the morning. I've just got a half hour left, but might want to call it a day. Excuse me, and end it. End it right here. So almost got up to 41.40 there. We got it up to looks like 38, maybe 41.38 half. Yep, 41.38 quarter. That was the thin spot. Wasn't hardly any volume. Just pushed it up, hit some stops, catapulted us higher. So now we are putting in some volume up here. Yep, that should be it for me for today. Just gonna look at a chart here. Let's see. This is the hour chart. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for me for the day. That should be it. Not a great day, but not bad. Took some profit. Would have liked to have gotten more. You always want to get more. Never a day where you say, man, I want to take less profit. So just to recap, was getting short up in here, added a little bit more up in here, scaled out here to kind of better my cost average, added a little bit more along the way here, and then got back out of somewhere here, and then scaled out down around here. Just was looking at overall context and thinking on the 15-minute, like we came up, and I thought if we hold this, it's very likely that we could get back into this channel. And look at us now, we're actually above that area, holding steady. So it's a good read on that one regarding a trade that wasn't great, but was able to kind of manage it well and then get out, read what the market was doing. Pleased with my scale outs on it. So it was nice where, this one was underwater for quite a while, where it wasn't making anything, was losing me money, but read it well, adjusted accordingly, and then got out of it for some profit down here. So it worked out well. And then saw it coming up here, figured we didn't push lower here, and thought that we could run some stops and push higher. So got involved right here at 02 or 03. Small amount though. Woulda, shoulda, coulda gone larger, but just got in for 10% of the allowable size that I'll let myself do, with the thought that we'd push higher. So this is one I mentioned, getting involved at 02, and thought you'd definitely be wrong below this 92 level down here. So in hindsight, looking at it, I should have put some more on the table here. Should have ponied up a little bit more, probably at least 25, maybe 30% of what I'll allow myself to get into, and then go ahead and ride some of it up. But scale out was nice, scaled out of some here, and then the last little bit right here. And now we're just hanging out here. The question is how far this thing goes lower until I think it reverses and we try to push back up higher. So that's really the question. I would think that below 4107 you'd be wrong. So could have a tight pullback where we only pull back to here or here, and then it continues higher. Could have a more steep pullback, but I feel like if you're getting involved here, if it gets much below 07, then you'd be wrong on the long side. So that's going to end it for me. Hope anyone who's watching has a good rest of your day trading. Hope you manage your wins and your losses well. And we'll do it again. You know what? Tomorrow I won't be in front of the screens. I'm going to help a buddy move, but I will be back Thursday and Friday.